June 4, 1896 was one of the most important days in the history of Industrial Revolution.
What happened?
For the first time, the 33-year-old Henry Ford single-handedly built a car all by himself, with his bare hands.
But there is a problem.
After inventing his first car, which looked like this, Henry Ford was excited and he wanted to impress his father. So one Sunday in June of 1896, Ford called this man and together they drove his new car to his father's farm. But then the young Ford got what he didn't expect. Expecting a lot of excitement from his dad, what Ford got from Williams Ford was an embarrassing look. According to Charles B. King, who was on the trip with Ford, Henry Ford's father was ashamed of his son fussing over a little thing like a quadricycle.
Pest. You're a great disappointment.
This was the project Henry Ford had worked many years on. This was the reason why he left the farm in September of 1891, worked 2 jobs and sacrificed his social life. In fact, by May of 1896, Ford's wife Clara Ford was worried that her restless husband could have a nervous breakdown. But then, when this man got a little breakthrough and wanted to impress his father, his dad thought the horse was better.
Ah, bring me my horse!
The question I want to answer in this video is, why do we get rejected sometimes by the people who love us? Or why is it that sometimes the person who loves you will not support you and in your old dream?
Why?
Well, I found some answers in this 2016 scientific study. In April of 2016, this study was published in ScienceDaily.com. It was a study by Dartmouth College which tried to understand how humans make decisions. What researchers in the study found is that the human mind always has a bias towards the possibility of having their prior experience repeated in a given situation. For example, if like me you like to play table tennis with your wife who is better than you. Now let's say with some luck you win her in the first round. When you start the second round, you'll believe that you have a chance to win again. You'll tell yourself, I won her last time and I'll do it again. In the same way, people who have experienced failures in the past about a particular thing sometimes believe that they would fail again. Now, according to this 2009 study by Robert Wagemiller and Robert M. Adelman, if such failures repeated themselves many times, people are likely to assume that such things they failed at are impossible to achieve.
It's impossible.
So this perfectly explains why many people who love you might not support your dreams, especially if these people are older than you. There's this likelihood that they've tried multiple times to do something similar to what you're telling them you want to do. For example, since your father had failed 7 times when he tried to build a business, he might have assumed that building a business in your country is not possible for poor people.
It's impossible.
Since your dad believes it's impossible to build a business as a poor person, when you go to him that you want to build a business, he simply uses the same measurement for you that he has used for himself. In his 1929 book, Civilization and Its Discontents, the Austrian neurologist Sigmund Freud wrote, "It is impossible to escape the impression that people commonly use false standards of measurement." So, what should you do? If you have someone important to you who doesn't believe in your dream or wouldn't support you, my advice for you is to be arrogant and yet humble. In his 1945 book, The Crack Up, Scott Fitzgerald wrote, "The test of a first-rate intelligence is the ability to hold 2 opposed ideas in the mind at the same time and still retain the ability to function." While arrogance and humility are 2 opposing attitudes, you need both of them to deal with people who doubt your ability. First, you need humility to understand that truly what you set out to achieve is difficult.
Be realistic, okay?
For example, it's unbelievably difficult to build a successful business, and in fact, the odds are against you. Having enough humility to accept this reality would help you to have a realistic expectation, which in turn helps you to be patient, persistent, and persevering. Now, second,